I felt like this girl killed me. That's really how I felt. Like she intentionally murdered me. Even though, I'm still sitting there, but I feel like you looking at a dead man.
Welcome back to How They Do That. Today, we're going to be discussing a case that sparked a lot of heated debates and made headlines everywhere. In today's episode, we're going to explore the chilling case of Cicely Bolden, a woman who met a tragic end due to the stigma surrounding HIV. Join us as we explore the details of her murder and the broader implications that it had on society. It was the Dallas area of Oak Cliff, Texas, where Bolden's life took a tragic turn. In September of 2012, Bolden was stabbed to death in her Dallas area apartment. In a scene of violence, her body was left partially clothed beside her bed. Her two young children, ages 7 and 8 at the time, came home to find their mother's body lying on the blood-soaked floor. Investigators delved deeper into the case and they uncovered a shocking motive: Cicely's HIV status. Bolden's life was full of challenges, but she was determined to provide for her children and build a better future for them. Everyone described her as a good mother that loved her kids. The father of Bolden's son, Jeff Busby, said that she had contracted HIV within the last couple of years, but she was a sweet, sweet person. Her twin sister, Cicely Bolden, told reporters, "My sister wasn't perfect. She liked drama, but she was a good person and a really good mother." After talking with friends and family, police quickly zeroed in on Bolden's new lover, Larry Dunn. After meeting on a chat app, the two will become romantically involved. However, it is not known if Bolden was aware that Dunn was a married man. According to Dunn, the relationship was not serious and the pair only met up to have casual sex. They never used protection, and he was unaware of her HIV status. After being arrested and initially lying to police, Dunn eventually admits to the crime. I've included some of this interrogation video for you guys so you can actually get a better feel for what this whole case was about. If you want to go ahead and skip on to the next bookmark or chapter, you can do that.
But today, Larry, we got a call at her house, and she was found deceased in her apartment. And right now, we don't know much about what's going on other than she had a couple of boyfriends, and we're trying to talk to everybody that she knew, trying to get information about what's going on. And I'm sorry to tell you this way, that's why I don't tell people over the phone about a death. You understand where I come from on that?
Hold on. And I'm sitting in here. Oh my God. Oh, I'm sitting in here as what?
You're sitting in here as nothing right now, other than somebody I wanted to talk to.
Come on, man.
You have to understand, Larry, that we talk to everybody who I've had these rooms full all night. We got to rule people out.
Man, listen.
So we don't waste our time with people.
Oh, man.
And so we can get on the right track of our investigation.
Listen, man, I was fucking around, and that's the truth.
What do you call her? What name do you call her?
I know her as Cicely or Candy.
You okay to talk to me? I know everything's jacked up, and you're not happy with the entire situation going on. But, this is your opportunity to tell me what happened and what went down inside. I know it's hard to talk about. How did she make you feel? This is your chance to tell me all that. Because I don't think you're a bad guy. I really don't.
I was enraged, man.
But before
I was told away, and I thought about her.
And you know what you and I talked about when we first came in here. You remember that? About your rights. You still understand all your rights?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And Would you like me to reread them to you or anything, or you
I know.
know, I mean, you're still willing to talk to me about this?
It don't matter, man.
Okay, so you are willing to talk? All right. Well, tell me what happened. Why were you so enraged?
She gave me HIV, man.
I understand.
And she knew she had HIV. This wasn't no secret. This wasn't like some, well, I had no fucking idea, Blatantly.
And when did she tell you she had HIV?
Friday or Saturday passed.
And what happened this morning? Were y'all still talking? Were you thinking about looking past the fact that she had HIV?
I was. Because I really, I thought she was bullshit. I thought it was something to test me to see if I liked her that much. I don't know.
Right.
Did
you really have sex with her this morning? Yes? Knowing that she had HIV?
Again, man, we had already had sex like 4 times.
So you didn't think one more was going to matter?
Why would it? 4 times. Unprotected with a chick with HIV.
So what happened? What made it different this time?
That made it different.
After y'all had sex, what happened?
I told you, man, for the past week, I've been a dead man walking, and all I could think about was her. And why and how could she possibly do this to somebody?
Right.
Like, why? Why me? Why me? And it was just, my mind's just blown, and I was hurt, and the goddamn it, my mind was going a million miles a second all day since she told me. Every day since she told me. And I couldn't believe it. And I didn't know what I wanted to do or how I was going to do it or whatever. But I wanted to make her pay. Killing wasn't on the menu, but that's just how it ended up.
So what happened when you were over there after y'all had sex?
She started talking about, HIV, and I just lost it, man.
And what did you do?
I went in the kitchen and I got a steak knife and I did her.
Where was she when you went in there with the steak knife?
Still on the bed. And I laid down next to her and did her.
Did she see the knife in your hand?
No, she didn't see it until it was in her throat.
How many times did you stab her?
Twice. I think twice.
And then what happened after that?
Freaked out. I got the out of there.
Did you do anything before you left the house?
What you mean?
I mean, after you stabbed her, did you just leave?
I left. I just got the
Did you see anybody in the house when you left?
No, nobody was there.
What'd you do with the knife?
Right there off of 161 in Norgate. So Wi-Fi was right there. I threw it in that dumpster. It's broken half, the handle.
What about your clothing? Would you have on shorts, shirt?
Had on some shorts and a black shirt.
Did you throw those away too, or are they at your house?
Burned them.
Where'd you burn them?
MacArthur and Oxbow.
MacArthur and Oxbow. What's out there? Is it a field or what?
That's an apartment complex I used to live.
So you stabbed her twice, and did you leave her on the bed, or what happened there? Was she moving? Was she screaming for help? What happened?
She couldn't scream. It was a little bit of a struggle, but not much. She wasn't very strong. To be my size, pretty much the same size.
Right.
She wasn't very strong. She just bled and bled and bled and
Did you get any of her blood on you?
Yeah.
Did you drive that way, or did you try to clean up, or what happened?
I cleaned up. And I
At
left.
your house or her house?
Mine.
Did you try to clean up at her house at all?
No. I didn't care.
Did you see anybody when you walked out? Did you go out the front door, or how did you?
I went out the front door.
There was nobody out.
Nobody was outside.
What did you do when you walked out?
Nothing. I just walked out, went to my car and left.
Tell me what you were feeling. I mean, all this was rage over her potentially giving you HIV,
Yes. Period.
and you haven't been tested. You didn't want to just break it off and just maybe there's a possibility you didn't get HIV. That wasn't a consideration.
Come on, man.
Did you go over there to kill her?
No, not at first.
At what point in your mind did you decide you were going to kill her?
When she started talking to me about HIV.
What was she saying about it? That it's okay to have it? I mean,
That's pretty much what she was trying to sell me. It's not that bad. And, it's ways around, having it. You could still do this and do that, except, you catch a cold or blah, blah, blah. You're going to be tired and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you fucking serious.
so you
And the more she talked about it, the more I was like, okay. She really is acting like this is okay. Like no regard for, no one's life, especially mine. I'm sitting right there in front of her. It was like it's nothing. It's nothing to be HIV positive in her mind. And it's okay that, she tells no one about it until after the fact. That's okay. That shit is not okay.
So do you feel like you've done justice? I mean, do you think you're keeping her from potentially harming, or was that even a consideration?
It was a thought in my mind, but I don't think I've done any justice or nothing like that because, again, only God knows how many other people she didn't fuck and then told them. Only God knows. I don't know. I could be speculating. I probably am, but only God knows who else she's done this shit to. And I felt like she killed me. Period. I felt like she killed me.
Now, are you concerned about your wife?
Very. And that was another thing I was thinking about as she was talking. I'm saying, man, she was talking to me like it's just all right. No, it's not all right because this is, is going to impact so many people.
Have you talked to anybody about this, or tell anybody about it?
Nobody.
But you knew it was coming.
I told you, man, I came to terms with it. I wasn't trying to run. I could have. I could have ran, got the hell away from here.
There's nowhere to go.
Exactly.
Can't run forever.
Exactly. So why run? Exactly. So that's why I didn't.
All right.
Whatever's going to happen really doesn't matter to me, man, because, again, in my mind, I'm already dead, bro. And that's the honest to God truth. I'm dead already. That's really how I feel.
Is there anything else you think I need to know about why it happened? Or you pretty much told me everything?
Ain't nothing else I can add to it. Other than, I felt like she killed me, so I killed her. Basically, that's it.
All right. I'll be right back and get you a cup of coffee. Or do you want the water?
I still want it, yeah.
To understand the context surrounding Bolden's murder, we need to delve into the prevailing stigma surrounding HIV and AIDS. In the 1980s and 90s, misinformation, fear, and discrimination were widespread. This stigma persisted even as medical advancements improved the understanding and treatment of the virus. We all know that Magic Johnson, for example, has lived with the virus for years. Bolden's story sheds light on the devastating consequences that this stigma can have on individuals. Unfortunately, many of you might be leaning towards one side or the other due to sensational headlines and intense arguments taking place in online comment sections and chat rooms. Some might argue that Bolden deserved what happened, or while not condoning Dunn's actions, they might seem to understand them. However, let's not rush to judgment and blame the victim just yet. Firstly, it's crucial to understand that engaging in sexual activity with an HIV-positive individual doesn't automatically mean you're contracting the virus or facing death, as Dunn implied, especially when using condoms, and if the person's HIV is effectively managed through medication. Secondly, can we truly determine whether Bolden intentionally withheld her status? According to Bolden's sister, she was open about her HIV status and held no shame about it. Her own children were even aware. It may seem difficult for some of y'all to grasp, but there are some HIV negative men who knowingly and willingly engage in sexual relationships with HIV positive women. Sounds crazy, I know. Most importantly, instead of focusing solely on Bolden's HIV status, let's acknowledge that domestic violence is a serious and unfortunately prevalent issue for women like her. A recent report revealed that a staggering 55% of all women living with HIV and AIDS have experienced domestic violence. This rate is more than twice of that of the general population. Violence is not merely an immediate reaction to discovering someone's HIV status. It can be a calculated and ongoing problem. During the trial, Larry Dunn claimed that he had no prior knowledge of Bolden's HIV status. He testified that after engaging in a consensual sexual encounter with her, he discovered her HIV positive status through a conversation they had. This revelation, according to Dunn, led to a violent altercation resulting in Bolden's tragic demise. As the trial progressed, it was revealed that Larry Dunn had tested negative for HIV after Bolden's murder. This discovery left many people perplexed and raised doubts about his claims. Was this a crime of passion or an attempt to use Bolden's HIV status as a smokescreen for a premeditated act of violence? Bolden's murder highlighted a deeply rooted problem within society, one that extends far beyond this tragic case. The way society perceives and treats individuals living with HIV is often marred by ignorance and fear. Throughout the trial, experts testified about the impact of HIV stigma on criminal cases. They discussed how the perception of HIV as a death sentence can skew judgment, leading to biased outcomes in legal proceedings. As the trial concluded, Larry Dunn was found guilty of Bolden's murder. However, many questions still lingered. Was justice truly served? What steps can society take to combat the stigma surrounding HIV and AIDS and prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future? Larry Dunn was sentenced to 40 years for the murder of Bolden. He appealed his case in 2015 and the judgment was affirmed. That's all for today's video. If you found this story intriguing or thought-provoking, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Also, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'll be back with more news and stories that captivate our attention. Until then, take care, stay curious, and stay safe.